Hoi, ik ben Daisy. Ik wil blond, lichtblond en kort pixie.
Yeah. Daisy wants a short pixie hairstyle, and she wants a blonde color because she had blue-black, and that is growing out very far. So I start with coloring, and then we see what happens. Hello, friends on YouTube. Almost Christmas, just 1 week to go. Start, of course, with protection, like I always do. Get a nice kinky cape. Start with bleaching. Made a blue bleach of glint with step 1 in it. I put a violet extra into it to reduce the yellow tones, and I can see a lot of shades, colors, because there's a light golden color into her hair. I'll show you that also in a second, so you can see how hard it will be to get all the colors out of the hairs. Let's start by applying it all over the hair, because there's also getting a part off, and then we'll see what happens. I'm going to show you first how many colors she has. So you see there's a lot of golden tones in it, yellows, and on the top it's a bit sand color, but there's also some parts that still have a brownish color, so a blonde brownish color. But because I put step 1 into the color, I can totally bleach this. Also putting a plastic on the shoulders. Start applying it in the center line. I'm going to work as light as possible. Kijk, crazy Daisy. En jij thuis bellen? Komen jullie maar hierheen?
Ja.
Oh, die meiden komen wel. Joking about Christmas time. But she sent me a photo where it's almost this haircut, but of course more effect in it, better and shorter, and ultra light. Take every time about ½ centimeter, lift the hairs up. Then do with a little wiggle, so I wiggle and then I can shift the hairs up. And so I set in all her hair, of course. Now all the bleach is on her hair. Travel through the hairs one more time, just to see if everywhere is bleach. You can see already the color developing, getting out of the hairs, reducing the old colors. The only thing I hope is that we get the darkest color out, or get to a color that we can make other color on, so it's still a blonde color. But the most wonderful thing would be if we get to the lightest blonde. But also we have 2 cuts on there, so that's still going to happen. That's why I started also with bleaching, because then I can see what's happening on the hairs. And I know there will be people watching that tell me first set in the color in the length, but it is too short for that. Comb this gently through the hairs. Don't touch the skin, only the hairs. Can already see there's a lot of gold tones, but we already saw that also when we started into her hair. So the first time I bleach her hair, so I don't have any knowledge of her hair, whatever about that bleaching. The only thing I know is that my bleach is the softest bleach there is. There's no ammonia coming up. It's not a warm process, it's a cold process. So now I take a cotton wick, put this around it, and then close my plastic foil. Split the cotton wick. This is set on the contour just for the plastic foil, because plastic foil can heat the process up. I don't want that. In the parts where I'm certain it will light up the most, I put also the garter wick. Where I need it to heat it most, I don't put it. Then I close my plastic foil. We go for a coffee or tea and you just stay there because we're back in less than a second, of course. You already know that from my videos. And I don't use heat on this, just let it. So I'll tell you afterwards how long it took. So we'll be back from coloring. Now you see there's a slight rest over, but that's only because the hair is still wet. We leave them for 35 minutes, then rinse it out. Put a toner over the smoky silver. So that's what the color is now. And now I start on the cut. So I take the hairs up, point where I want to go. And set out the first baseline over the center line. So now I know which length I want to have. So now I can start like this, leaving some length on the front, and gently go shorter. When I wouldn't go shorter on the center, she would have a build-up of hairs in the center, because the roundings of her head are that this would stick out. Take every time about ½ centimeter, lay the hairs back, take them up with my fingers, so lay them back, take the part I want to have with my fingers. So somebody who tells me you're not parting, that's not true. I part 2 times, one down, one with my fingers, but it goes that fast that you hardly see it. On the rounding of the crown I leave a little bit more length because I need the rounding. So here I leave a little bit more length and then go in. And then I have a much nicer shape. When I see that the hair travels to the other side, I go also to the other side. I adopt the shapes just by the way the hair lays. So now you see the line falling and I can move it to the front and to the back, but when I use my techniques in it, because afterwards I go slicing into this line to give it some more possibilities to the front and to the back and get rid of some thickness. So now I go to the other side. So now you see the line falling and I can move it to the front and to the back, but when I use my techniques in it, because afterwards I go slicing into this line to give it some more possibilities to the front and to the back and get rid of some thickness. So now I go to the other side. Ja. Kijk waar we zijn. Oh, dat is hartstikke mooi. Dat is echt leuk. Leave some length to the front. And leaving some length on the crown area, so when I get to the crown area I take the hairs up,
put them straight up, and then go in. And let my hands lay on the skull bone, so I can feel where the skull is. And go to get on the line where I started to cut. Coming in the center of the back, T.K.S over in a cross control. And connect both lines to each other. Then I have a nice soft fall into the hairs, so I can start my slicing techniques. Als die in olie zit, dan is het echt vervelend. Lay the hairs to the front, go in slicing, just using the tip of my scissor, and get rid of a lot of thickness. I really love slicing because I can just put the thinning techniques there where I want them to be. And leaving the front longer, of course. Go over the rounding of the skull. Come every time a little bit of hair on it. And use an ultra fine technique, so don't hide lines. So now I get a more playable effect. What I told you, do this on both sides. Go in the way the hair falls. Over the rounding to the back. Watch how the fall is. And again leaving the front longer, of course. So now I can come to the under hair. Scissor over comb. Using my large Scione scissor. This one I really love because you can do everything with it, slicing and cutting. And you can even use it as a razor. You see I hold the lines nice and soft. So don't create hard lines in this hairstyle. De buurman is dan stiekem kerstpakketjes aan het maken. Van het lekkerste soort, met een borreltje. Don't go too high up, otherwise my slicing was for nothing. But you see I hold this hairstyle ultra feminine and soft. Heb je, dat weet je al. Runs in the family. Go for the running. and hold my comb every time in her skull lines, so I bend with him. In the underline she has a nice crown area, so that I do with clipper.
Heb je dat plaatje dan nou gewoon in je hoofd of zo?
Welk plaatje?
Van die foto?
Ja, zeker. Ja, die zit nu gewoon, ik pas hem gewoon aan jouw haar natuurlijk. Want je hebt natuurlijk ander haar als dat fotootje.
Ja, dat snap ik, ja.
Dus ik pas hem gewoon een beetje aan. Maar ik gebruik ook niet alles wat in die film staat. Hier zit
Ja, ik heb er echt
ja.
ook heel irritant.
Ja, je hebt echt mooie praatjes.
Ja, vind jij? Ik vind er niks aan.
Dat snap ik. Getting to my clipper. Take the ear down.
Zo heerlijk, hè?
Ja? Ja, Tom, deze is ook wel een mooi ding eigenlijk. Maar het kan heel gevaarlijk zijn, hè?
Ja.
Je ziet soms die filmpjes, als wij het dan proberen eraf te halen in één keer, dan lukt het niet. Maar in zo'n filmpje gaat het in één keer eraf, hè? Stay under the skull shape. Ja, dat kan een bot zijn van een hond. Hiervoor zit af en toe een hele grote hond en ik ga meestal natuurlijk, ja, dit is geen bot dit. Dit is gewoon die dooie die ze neergooien. Het is wel lekkerder als je zo in een studio kunt werken, omdat je veel meer rust hebt. Hè?
Ja.
Dus op de zaak is alles jagen. Mag ik een stukje draaien?
Ja.
Travel in opposite lines of the hair fall. Get rid of the wiggle. Ja, maar het is wel grappig dat je die hebt. Je hebt daar echt zo'n draai in zitten.
En de nek, hè?
Ja.
Dat is ook een kruintje.
Ja. Nou ja, ik vind het wel grappig als kapper. Ik heb daar nooit zo moeite mee.
Nee, maar waar heb jij er moeite mee?
Nee, stel dat ik er wel had, dan was het echt vervelend voor jou.
Ik ben blij dat ik weer weg ben.
Ja, dat geloof ik. Dat duurt weer 6, 7 weken voordat er weer iets zit. Ja, weet je, het vraagt wel veel technieken om dat gewoon echt goed te doen.
Ja.
Maar dat is juist ook wel weer leuk, dat is de uitdaging ervan. Talking in Dutch about the techniques you use to get that wiggle feeling out. But I really love it. It brings all all the work together and the skills you get from doing a lot of hair. So, one of my neighbors is throwing with things. I told him so to be nice to my mother-in-law. Huh? Hold my clipper to the back and use it as a comb, so I can get a nice overflow of the line. Now get to my small clipper, clean the contour line. Fine tuning of the line. Overigens wel ik deze kant ook ben geweest, denk ik. Denk je niet? So now I can dry your hair. Gonna dry this hair using a foam of Goldwell 10 BS. It smells really nice, nice nursing. Ruikt goed aan dit, hè?
Ja, dat loopt wel lekker, ja.
Heel mooi schuim. Comb this through the hairs. Lay the hairs the way they have to go. Don't dry this with the use of my fingers. Ik heb straks 26 oliebollen meegenomen.
Oh.
3 man. Wij zijn echt oliebollenmonsters.
Lekker. Nou, ik weet niet, 26 is een beetje veel, maar...
Nou, god nee, je zit zo weg. Mijn record staat op een keer dat we op Oudjaarsdag had ik 46 oliebollen gegeten.
Aha, in je eentje.
In mijn eentje.
Over de hele dag mag ook.
De hele dag. Maar het is wel veel.
Oh, word je nog niet misselijk?
Nee. Wat een bos haar heb jij, ja. Veel. En dik.
What the fuck?
Ja, dat is echt dik haar. Now before I go any further, I take out the thinning system and thin it out a little bit on top. Because she has a lot of hair. So I take this nice shark teeth thinning chisel, set it about a centimeter above the skin, and only on the top, just to get some hair into the hairs. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Om in de kerst weer te blijven.
Ja.
beetje landen. Die stond. Okay, we use a styling product. In her case, I use a nice oil. Take this nice oil of glint. Because it softens the hair. The hair is still in wonderful condition. It gives also a nice glow to the hairs. Zo.
Ja, ze zijn flink bezig met schoonmoeder.
Ja. Now, thank you for being my model. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a nice holidays. And we see each other next year. Ho, ho, ho.
Finishing touch.
Yeah. Daisy will turn around to show you the end result. And we see each other next year. Bye bye.
Ja, superleuk.
Ik ben Daisy, ik wil blond, lichtblond en kort pixie.
Yeah. Daisy wants a short pixie hairstyle. And she wants a blonde color because she had blue black. And that is growing out very far. So I start with coloring. And then we see what happens.